friends, we are studying plant life and utilization. And in plant life and utilization, we already studied general classification of plant kingdom. We know that, we already studied that plant kingdom is classified into two groups such as cryptogams and phenerogams. Of these, cryptogams are again classified into Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. And Thallophyta are again classified into algae, lichen, fungi and bacteria. And we already studied about that. Of these four plant groups, three plant groups are included in our syllabus such as algae, lichen and fungi. And of these three plant groups, we already completed algae to the previous lecture. And today, we are going to study another plant group, and such plant group is lichen. And in lichen, we will discuss about general characters of such lichen and nature of association in such lichen. But before studying general characters and nature of association, we must know some information about such lichen. These lichens are composite plant. Lichens are called composite plant because in lichen, two plants, means algae and fungi, live together. Algae and fungi live together as a single plant, and therefore these lichens are called composite plant. It means that in lichen, algal member and fungal member live together. Of these, the algal member is called phycobiont and the fungal member is called mycobiont. Such mycobiont and phycobiont live together as a single plant. Many lichenologists believe that they live together in symbiotic association. This is about such lichen. Then we discuss about general characters of such lichen. There are many general characters. Of the first and very important character is that lichens have great diversity in their occurrence, in their habitat and in their habit. This is the first character, first general character of lichen. Then second character is that they are commonly growing on rocks, on leaves, on tree trunk and even on barren land. It means that lichens grow everywhere. Then third character is that they can grow on sand dunes, deserts and rocks where other plants cannot exist. It means that lichen grow at that places where other plant can't grow. Understand? This is the third character, third general character of such lichen. Then the next character is that mesophytic lichen grows in moisture or at moist places, and some aquatic species occurs only on the seashore. There are some mesophytic lichen which grows at moist places, and there are some aquatic lichen, they grow on seashores. The next character is that the plant body of such lichen is thalloid, yellow, green, grey, orange, brown and red. First thing is that plant body of such lichen is thalloid. We know what we mean by thalloid plant body. When true root, stem and leaves are absent, such type of plant body is called thalloid, or such type of plant body is called thallus. In lichen, plant body is thalloid, and color of such thalloid plant body maybe yellow, sometime green, gray, orange, brown, red, etc. etc. Then next character is that majority of lichen have leaf-like flat thallus. In majority of lichen, their thallus is flat, dorso-ventrally flat, means like a leaf. On upper surface it is flat, on lower surface it is flat. Such type of thallus is called dorso-ventrally flattened thallus, and in lichen, thallus is dorso-ventrally flattened. Some lichen have characteristic cylindrical branched thallus. There are some lichens. Usnea is the example of such type of lichen. In such lichen, plant body is cylindrical and branched. Then next character is that the major portion of thallus is the mycobiont. We already discussed about that. In lichen, algal member and fungal member live together. But majority of part of such plant body is made up of fungi. Understand? Means the major portion of thallus is the mycobiont. Then next character is that phycobiont is second component of lichen thallus of blue-green algae. Second partner means the algal member is called phycobiont, and such phycobiont is the second component, and generally such phycobiont includes blue-green algae. Blue-green algae are present as phycobiont in lichen. On the distribution of algal cells in lichen thallus, there are two types of lichen, such as homeomerous lichen and heteromerous lichen. First we discuss about homeomerous lichen. In homeomerous lichen, algal cells are scattered uniformly within the fungal IP. Means the plant body of lichen made up of algae and fungi. Fungal member is large portion is made up of fungi, means fungal hyphae. And in this fungal hyphae, algal cells are distributed uniformly all over the plant body. And in such type of lichen is called homeomerous lichen. And second type is heteromerous lichen. In heteromerous lichen, algal cells are restricted to distinct layer. When we take section of such heteromerous lichen and observe under microscope, in such lichen, algal cells are restricted to distinct layer. Means algal cells are present only in some layers. Understand? This is the difference between heteromerous lichen and homeomerous lichen. Then next character is that vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, by isidia and by soredia. In lichen, vegetative reproduction takes place. Generally, vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation. Due to any reason, lichen thallus breaks into fragment, and each fragment gives rise to new lichen thallus or new lichen. And the last character is that sexual reproduction takes place by ascogonia, and fructification. In some lichen, fruiting bodies, they produce fruiting bodies, and such fructification is disc-like bodies, and they are called perithecia and apothecia. This is about general characters of lichen. Then we discuss about nature of association in lichen. We already studied that in lichen, algal member and fungal member live together. And majority of lichenologists believed that the relation between or the association between algal member and fungal member is symbiotic association, but the relationship between algal and fungal alga and fungus in lichen thallus is still not understood clearly. And different lichenologists put forth, stated their different hypotheses. Some lichenologists believe that the association between algal member and fungal member is parasitic association. Some lichenologists believe that such association is symbiotic, and there are some lichenologists believe that such association is heliotism. Such association is heliotism. Understand? First we discuss about such hypothesis. Some lichenologists believe that the relation between or the association between alga and fungus is parasitic association. And there are some points which support such hypothesis. And these points are that in some lichen, fungal hyphae send hosteria in algal cell and absorb food from them. We know that in parasite or parasitic plant sent hosteria in host cell, and with the help of such hosteria they absorb ready-made food from the host cell. Same occurs in some lichen. Fungal member send hosteria in algal cell and absorb ready-made food. This is the first point which support such hypothesis. And the second point is that when two partners are separated and grow independently, the algal cells can multiply, but the fungal hyphae cannot survive. Means in lichen, or we separated alga and fungus from lichen and allowed to grow them independently. In this case, algae can grow and multiply, but fungus can't grow and multiply. It means that such fungus is parasitic on such algae. Understand? This is about the first hypothesis. Many lichenologists or majority of lichenologists believe that the association between algae and fungi is symbiotic association. And there are some supporting points. The first supporting point is that both the partners are independent of each other. Means in lichen, algae depends on fungi, fungi depends on algae. This is the first point which support this hypothesis. Then second supporting point is that algal cell provide organic food to the fungal hyphae. In this association, algae provide ready-made food to the fungi. Understand? And the third point is that the fungal partner provides support by its rhizoid, and in return, fungal partner provides support with the help of rhizoids which are produced by fungal partner. It means that in such association, both the members are benefited, and therefore many lichenologists believe that the association between algae and fungi is the symbiotic association. This is about symbiotic association, but some lichenologists believe that the association between algae and fungi is heliotism. First we know what is meant by heliotism. Heliotism is a symbiotic association, but one of the partner has an upper hand. In lichen, the fungal partner performs all the necessary function except photosynthesis. Means some lichenologists believe that the association or the relation between algae and fungus is heliotism. Heliotism is the association, like symbiotic association. But one member is dominant. One member is dominant. One member has an upper hand. Understand? And there are some points which support such hypothesis. The first point is that in lichen, the fungal partner performs all the necessary functions except photosynthesis. In lichen, fungi plays all roles except photosynthesis. Understand? Means fungi has upper hand in such association, and therefore it is dominant, and alga lives simply as a slave or subordinate partner. Means algae plays only function of photosynthesis. Understand? These are the points which support the phenomenon, the hypothesis of helotism. This is about nature of association in lichen. To the next lecture, we will discuss about forms of lichen and utilization of lichen. Thank you.